This is her real body. As you can see, it was just mummified as like the Egyptian pharaohs. But you have to know, by the year of 700, her body was like a sleeping body. She was very beautiful still, with a very sweet fragrance. As you can see, the casket, the urn of Saint Rita, it is with the sealed. The other side here, it was sealed by the bishop and then the authority, our mayors. For what I know, it was been opened on 1957 and then followed by 1997. And then after 1997, it was followed by the year of 2015. When they will open this, they should be the delegate of the doctor from the Vatican, the bishop of the diocese, the prior, the rector of the basilica, the mother abbess, some delegates from the city, the mayor. It will be opened with all these testimonies, and then after they will seal it. The examination, I could not say that as far. It didn't happen as for what I know, because they just opened it to get some relic, as you know. And then, of course, to change the dress of Saint Rita for the relic to be given to the people. As you know, they are also asking the relic. It is real body, but because of the little by little, it was been mummified. Of course, the part of the eyes, the nose, it is the fragile part of our body, so it was been touched. But the rest is her real body. One of the studies also told that here in Kasia, it's the temperature, it makes the body really preserved. So maybe it's also one of the fact that her body was been preserved. Before, as I told, by 1700, her body was still really like a sleeping body, like that, with the sweet fragrance. But sad to say, there was earthquake, the fire. Because of the sisters, then they were afraid. So they get the body of Saint Rita still with her first, the second casket. Maybe you saw it already there. So they place it in the garden. And then after that, of course, with the humidity, with the sun, only then the body of Saint Rita was been mummified. But before then, till 1700, her body was real perfect. And then really, as I told again, I will repeat it, it was been mummified as the body, as the nature of the body maybe. And then, so it's somehow, as we know, it's a miracle because it's the nature of the body to decompose, but her body was still intact. By the year 1947, again, her body was being placed here to see it. Because the first one, as you see it before, the first casket, the sisters then get to close and open the casket for the people to see. But after that, and then by the Prince of the Portugal received a miracle from Saint Rita. He was having a tumor then, but he was healed. So as a gift, as a sign of gratitude, he gave that casket. As you saw, there was the mirror. So the sisters then, they will not open and close the casket so they can see it perfectly. Unfortunately, we don't have any written comment of Saint Rita or the documentation, because there was the time that it was all burned also. And so, but as we all know, we have the real body of Saint Rita, so that will tell us the fact of that Saint Rita lived here for 40 years. She entered here in the monastery at the age of 36, and then she died at the 76. So she lived here in the monastery for 40 years. And then about the thorn, she got the thorn for 15 years. And as you all know, and then only one time it disappeared, because when the time she was supposed to join the canonization of our first canonized saint, Saint Nicholas of Tolentino, or the Jubilee that will be held there in Rome. But unfortunately, she was never been permitted by the Mother Superior because of her thorn, and then it was really smelling, as they said it. Saint Rita prayed to God, and then God answered by removing the thorn from her head. So she was permitted to go to the Rome to attend to the feast. And then when coming back, the thorn came back again to her forehead. So it never left her for 15 years. And then maybe you saw in her room where you went there, and then you will see there all the things that they use to clean the wounds of Saint Rita. And then the other point that you should also know, her obedience to our mother, to her Mother Superior then when she entered, because as a wife she entered, and then she experienced being a wife, a mother, and then a widow, and then so entered here. So the Mother Superior then needed to prove her obedience. So she was asked to water every day the dried stick. So it was so impossible to have something from the dried stick. But because of her obedience, so she watered it every day with faith, with obedience, with humility, because the other nuns were teasing her, maybe you're crazy, you're watering a dried stick. Only the Mother Superior and Saint Rita knows that agreement, only the two of them. So the other would not know why she was watering a dried stick. But anyway, with everything, with faith again, with obedience, so she watered every day, every morning, without any tiredness. And so God recompensed her by making that dried stick to be a grapevine, still giving a fruit. And then maybe you know that the holy powders from the leaves of the grapes, we are making it the powders. It's a long process. We need to, of course, to get it from there, and then to dry it, and then to make it the oven, to pulverize and everything to make it to the pack for the packaging. So it is the holy powders that we are making or are giving to the people and then fortunately, luckily, with God's mercy, through the intercession of Saint Rita, many miracles are happening. And then also about the fruits, yes, we are giving it to the Pope. They are the lucky ones to receive it. And then of course some authorities, some parish priests to be given to the sick people. And then for us also nuns, we also receive this, but maybe 4 or 5 pieces, and then we eat it with devotion, and then we also can give it to our parents or relatives. And then so it's the grapevines of Saint Rita. Also, we have to see her message of reconciliation, the forgiveness. She was being called the saint of the impossible because it was the people of Spain who called her, because it was only the people who give this name for her because of the many intercession she gave with all the impossibilities of the human beings and everything. But through her intercession, everything became possible. So that's why they proclaimed her saint of the impossible. And then about the reconciliation, because as you know, it was not been easy for her to enter to the monastery because of the conflict then with the Guelfi and the Mancini group. So her family with the cousin or the relative of the husband of Paolo Mancini, her husband. So the mother abbess then, it was, I'm sorry, you should reconcile first the family. So the first miracle she made before entering the monastery is the forgiveness, the reconciliation among the families. It was not easy because, as we all know, that epoch, the vengeance, the revenge, it's just normal. The forgiveness is very abnormal. So, but Saint Rita made it possible for them. So, only then that it was possible for her to enter to the monastery. And then maybe you know also by the tradition, I repeat, oral tradition, she was been praying there at Roca Purena, maybe you know it already, and then while praying to the top of the mountain, she was being brought to our monastery. And then they said that the angels were ringing the bells. Then they found out that Saint Rita was already inside. By the oral tradition, she was being accompanied by our Saint Augustine, and then Saint Nicholas of Tolentino, Saint John the Baptist. It's also important to see her message that in our families today, it's not that easy to forgive. So we ask you, if you have faith to Saint Rita, prove it that you are really a devotee of Saint Rita. Because if you are a devotee of Saint Rita, you will know how to forgive like her. So if you will forgive like her, really, she will be proud of you. And then you will see there will be many miracles for your life, for your families, because of forgiveness. Really, it is the most important point in our life. We should forgive ourselves, we should forgive others, we should forgive everyone. And then that will make us peaceful, serene, also happy, because it is what Jesus also teach us to forgive. Forgive many times. There's no 7 times 7, or there's no time, because we should forgive every time. So there's no limit of forgiveness, because the forgiveness with the love, it unites together. If you love, you should forgive. If you forgive, you love. So it's always united. So maybe I could tell you some of the miracles of Saint Rita, as I'm telling about the reconciliation. One I know, it's that between brothers, they were really having quarrels, really to the point that they will also make some disasters with among 70 families, because without disasters among them, between them, they will close something that they own, so a business, they will close that because of that quarrel. So that means they will affect 70 families, and then of course it was a great chaos. But that man was not really a devotee of Saint Rita, but he asked Saint Rita. So he tried to pray to Saint Rita, and then after some weeks, and then the miracle somehow happened, because they were being able to reconcile to each other. So the business, they didn't close it, so the 70 families were not being affected. So, and then the other thing is that maybe someone of you is asking about the perfume of the roses, the fragrance of the roses. For example, many pilgrims coming here, and then they will just go out from the convent. Before going out, they will tell me, sisters, did you place some perfumes? rose perfume, because I can smell that very strong smell of rose perfume. No, I'm sorry, we didn't, and we don't have any perfume like that. So, but usually it is the sign of Saint Rita that she is near to that person. And then, speaking about this fragrance of the rose, a mother was asking Saint Rita's intercession because her daughter was dying, was really very sick. So while she was traveling, and then while praying also to Saint Rita, so she smelled the fragrance of the rose, and then, of course, she didn't mind it. But when she arrived to the hospital, and then the daughter was healed, completely healed. So only then she remembered that, I smelled that rose. So she remembered Saint Rita. And one of the millions miracles of Saint Rita also, it's that a 6-year-old boy, really with, they gave him 6 days to live. The mother was not also, she doesn't believe to God, Saint Rita. And then she said, if my son will be healed, I will believe. And then the friend of her asked the intercession to Saint Rita. They went here, and then they asked Saint Rita to cure the boy. They were able also to ask one of the sister here to pray for him. And then, so after 6 months, they came back here. And then, just to tell you that boy, they gave 6 days to live. Then they came back here to thank Saint Rita because he is really completely healed. So one of the miracles, there are really millions of miracles of Saint Rita. I know you have also one of your experience. So for now, maybe I could just tell you this. And again, I repeat to you the message of Saint Rita, the reconciliation, the forgiveness, the love, the obedience, the faith, and then to be united to Jesus, because as you see, the grapevines, it also symbolizes the vine and the branches being together. So it's Saint Rita and Jesus being united together, because only then, when we are united to Jesus, that we can do many miracles. Without Him, we can't do nothing. Thank you.